We are in Tigoni, the richest village in East Africa. There's a golf course on my left, and you can see the kind of people that hang out around here. So basically, it's not a rich neighborhood per se. I think the right word to use in this context is wealthy. Tigoni is a village, not a town, as most of you would expect. And the smell of old money is all over. I don't know whether you can differentiate between old money and new money, but definitely there are signs. And apparently, of course, they smell differently. So Tigoni village is a big name in Kenya. There's a lot of unique things that put the village on the map. We can count them all day. For instance, did you know that the first tea bush in East Africa was planted here in 1903? Also, did you know that it is one of the coldest places in Kenya? At 2,500 meters above sea level, what do you expect? Unknown to many, and this is the third one. Tigoni is the root cause of the infamous Lari massacre. I'll be telling you more about that, but let's first explore the village. Of course, where there are geese, there are gandas. And where there is the rich, trust me, the less fortunate are around the corner. So Tigoni has a unique setup. So the wealthy live in the village-like setup. You know, huge ranches, big tea plantations, while the less fortunate live in this small town. You can see there's nothing like money here. People are just surviving. Probably workers from the big farms lives here. There's a small village hotel here on my left, probably serving dengus, chapatis, and githeri. Just the common food for the locals. On the right side of the town, you can see the remnants of the colonial era. The two white buildings next to each other are as old as they come. They probably served as warehouses during the colonial era. On the left is the ghetto. I wish I could zoom out what I'm seeing, but I don't want to show faces. Narrow streets, clamped up mabati houses. Clearly, they are rentals. But if you're a keen observer, you can see that the structures on my left are built on a road reserve. And I mean the main road from Limuru to Banana Hills. You will see it in a few seconds. For now, I'm about to join Tigoni Kabuku Road. So I'll be taking you to the rich part of the village. But for now, let's continue exploring the town. There's another big part of the town, it's a few meters from here. So this is the road I was telling you about. It goes all the way to Banana Hills from Limuru Town. So I want to take a left turn and see what the town has to offer. I'm sure there's more. This seems to be the main Tigoni town. There are more permanent buildings, well-paved roads. Let's get deep and see what's up. The beautiful village has a total population of 13,292 people, all living in a vast area of 37.4 kilometers squared. And that means the town has a population density of 356 people living in a square kilometer. So in short, this is a big village with a very small population. There are 4,685 households, meaning on average, each household has at least 3 people. In terms of the gender distribution, the male has a slight majority at 50.5% of the aggregate population, followed closely by their female counterparts at 49.5%. So in short, there are about 200 more men than women in Tigoni. There's a club here on my left, Club Obama, probably the biggest club in town. Just a laid-back town, nothing much is happening. I can spot a Mutura guy right here in front. I swear he's roasting the best intestines I've ever seen. They look sumptuous. They must be goat intestines, not the stuffed Mutura per se. Oops, I must be very hungry. I told you Tigoni has a deep connection with the infamous Lari massacre, which took place somewhere in Lari, which is a bit far from here. So to get you into perspective, the Lari massacre was an incident during the Mau Mau uprising, which took place between 1952 and 1956. So during the night of the massacre, Mau Mau killed 74 people in cold blood. And topping the list was one Luka Kahangara and members of his family. Remember, Luka was the area chief working for the colonial government. Of course, the colonial masters retaliated, killing about 400 villagers. They also captured about 309 rebels who were prosecuted for the massacre. Out of the 309 captured, 136 were convicted, where 71 of those convicted were executed by hanging. And that is the ugly context of the Lari massacre. So here is the connection between the Lari massacre and the rich village of Tigoni. So long time ago, specifically in the 1800s, the entire area of Tigoni was inhabited by members of the Kikuyu community. But when the white man came, that is, the British, they took a special interest of the place. Foremost, it was very close to Nairobi city, the then new capital of Kenya. In fact, Tigoni is about 26 kilometers from Nairobi Central Business District, which is typically a 30 to 45 minute drive. And secondly, the area resembled the United Kingdom, their motherland, in almost all aspects. Foremost, it is super cold, and weather in Tigoni is very unpredictable, just like in the UK. They also discovered another very important aspect about the area. That is, tea can grow here. I told you the first tea in Kenya was introduced here in Tigoni in 1903 by a British guy who went by the name G. Kane. He planted the first seedling from India, and miraculously, the plant did very well. And so the next step was to evacuate the masses from the area. And that's where the real story begins. So the main challenge was to convince the locals to move from their ancestral land to make room for the white settlers and settle somewhere around Lari. So areas around Kimende, Uplands, Nyambari, those were the areas that the white man intended to settle the blacks. But those are challenge. Most villagers felt that there's no way we are moving from our ancestral land to make way for the newcomers. But among the villagers, there were some Tumbocrats, led by one Luka Kahangara. So he was on the colonial master side, and he was used to convince the locals to agree to the proposal. Of course, he was paid for that, probably with beer and cigarettes or a few iron sheets. And so he would go like, okay, brothers and sisters, I know this is our ancestral land and we've been living here like since forever. But look, friends, these guys want the best for us. That's why they want us to move to more beautiful places and leave this ugly land to them. Eventually, the people are moved to Lari, of course through force, coercion, killings, and threats. Was Luka Kahangara and other collaborators spared? No. He too was moved, together with his kinsmen, but to reward his loyalty, he was made the chief of the new area. So in the new village, he was a marked man. It's not like his village mates were very proud of him. But he never gave that idea a serious thought. Of course, he had the protection of the British. Guns, grenades, and of course he had formed his own militia of home guards who are also under the British payroll. Unfortunately, when rumors about Mau Mau started circulating in the country, Chief Luka, traitor Kahangara, was the first one to ban all Mau Mau activities in his area. But unfortunately by then, the locals had had enough of his nonsense. So on the night of 26th March 1953 at 10 p.m, his homestead was surrounded, and in a few minutes later, the chief, his wives, kids, goats, chicken, name them, they were burned down. And that marked the beginning of the Lari massacre. So let me give you the land prices in this beautiful neighborhood of Tigoni. As usual, I've seen a few pieces of land on sale here. And topping the list is this 12.5 acres of land right in the heart of Tigoni, going for 225 million Kenya shillings. They're selling as a block. There's another one, an 8-acre parcel, going for 30 million per acre. I told you this is a rich neighborhood. I also saw another half-acre residential plot for sale, and it was going for 17 million Kenya shillings. There's another 3 quarters, and it is going for 28 million Kenya shillings. There's another 1 acre at Tigoni, Kentmere area. It's going for 45 million Kenya shillings. And another 3.9 acres going for 100 million Kenya shillings. I can go on and on. The list is pretty long. Reach out if interested. And by the way, if you're selling property in this town and villages and towns in the surrounding counties, that is Nairobi, Kajiado, Kiambu, Murang'a, and Nyandarua, and you would like serious visibility to a mature Kenyan audience, reach out to us via the WhatsApp number on the screen.